Cool carbon fiber design and ANC, but how do they sound? Let's check these out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out these. These are the PHIATON 900 Legacy Plus ANC headphones. And they're pretty darn nice, actually. They feature 40mm drivers, and they are aptX HD and aptX adaptive compatible. They have ANC, and it's a pretty solid ANC that also includes an ambient mode. Other manufacturers call it pass-through mode, but it gives you some ANC, but you can still hear what's going on around you. Also has CVC circuitry, so when you're talking in a noisy environment, it should cut down a lot of that background noise, which is really great if you're on a phone call. Personally, not a big fan of being on phone calls with headphones like this, but you know, if you got to take a call nice and quick, then it does make that pretty easy. Where these are really great is battery life. 43 hours of battery life, and if you give it a 10-minute charge, you got another hour of listening, so that's pretty nice. And one of the things I also like about it is it has a nice little travel case, and it's a hard case. But it also comes with a 3.5mm to 3.5mm wire, so you could use these in wired mode if you have run out of battery, or you just don't want to be using Bluetooth, or you have a device that doesn't support Bluetooth. The other cable in there is a USB-C to USB-A charging cable, and on the end of the left ear cup is USB-C. In fact, let's have a closer look at the ear cups because they're nice and simple design. So the left ear cup has two buttons, power and ANC. That's it. The right ear cup has no buttons because the right earpiece is actually a touch-sensitive control panel. So when you have these on, then I can double tap to stop and play the music. I can go up to make it louder or softer. I need to actually stop the music because I have it paired with my iPhone 15 Pro. Sounds really nice, but I'm actually playing music when I do those demos. So the side pieces are carbon fiber, and it's sort of a coated carbon fiber. It's a very nice design. They are adjustable, they have nice padding on the headpiece, and memory foam earpieces, and they're pretty darn light in my experience for headphones of this style. And so you put them on, and inside each earpiece, it's pretty subtle, but it says right or left. And honestly, I know that sounds kind of silly, but I like that because there are times, especially when you're new to your headphones, that you're not exactly sure which way to do it. And if you put them on the wrong way, then what happens is they're not very comfortable. And you're like, I'm not a big fan of these. But then you realize, oh, wait a minute. And so some companies don't list left or right at all, and others have a tiny little imprint on the side here, which of course you can't see, so it doesn't really accomplish much. So PHIATON did a nice job here. So two more things. Number one, multi-point connection, and number two, one of the features I really like with these, probably my favorite feature, is they have smart pause. So when I put these on, let's get the music playing. Oh, there we go. So when I put them on, I'm listening to music. If I take them off, they pause. And then when I put them on again, it goes right back to the music. And that's really great. And this is particularly great if you're listening to audiobooks or a podcast or something, because then you don't have to remember, oh no, where am I? I just forgot to pause and my headphones have been sitting down for 2 minutes while I've been talking to someone. So really cool feature. Now, I want to give you a quick demo of the app, and then I want to give you a demo of the voice pickup here, because it does a nice job with that. So let's start with the app. I'm going to put these on, and then I'm going to pause the music. Come on. There we go. Okay, so with that paused, going to go into their app, and I want to warn you, the PHIATON app is pretty bare bones. So as you can see, it shows your headphones, it shows the charge level. I can go to ANC and choose on or off or ambient. And then when you go to the EQ, and this is something that I've got to guess they're going to make a change to this, because right now it just gives you whatever you set. And in fact, by default, everything's at the very bottom, which is very disconcerting when you go to EQ and suddenly your music does not sound very good. But what I imagine they're going to add to this at any time is they're going to add presets, because it's really easy to do that. And it's really nice to have those options rather than to be trying to figure out, well, what waveform do I like? You'll notice you also can't disable your EQ if you decide you don't want to use it after you've set it. But, you know, that's pretty much the whole thing. Over here, you can check for firmware updates, and there's an owner's guide. So pretty straightforward. It's a pretty basic app. And so with that, let me go to voice, and now what you're hearing is my voice as picked up by the PHIATON 900 Legacy Plus ANC headphones. And it does an entirely credible job. I will say that these would work just fine in a pinch, and they are pretty comfortable, especially with the ANC in pass-through, or what do they call it? They call it ambient mode, you know, so you really could use these for a phone call if you wanted to. But my personal preference, like I said, is not a huge fan of that. Now, let me get back on my regular mic. So that's really most everything you want to know about these headphones, including the case. Very attractive packaging. And really, they did a nice job with everything here, which of course leads to the question, all right, so what do they sound like? And I gotta be honest, I was not hugely impressed with the sound. I think they sound really good, but there's a little muddiness. There's a little lack of precision from the drivers that I like in my headphones. And they are sort of mid-range in the price, but the ANC works really well. That smart pause is really good. So what these make up for, or what these perhaps lack to some extent in the music reproduction, they definitely make up for in just usability and functionality. Now, to be fair, when I listened to different genres of music, it got way better. So there's some music that might just have a very emphasized bass, which then this picks up and emphasizes even more, and that's when it started to get a little muddy. So when I listened to some classic like Keith Jarrett piano solos and such, then that did have a nice crispness to it, had a very nice sound stage, and the sound was only slightly different with ANC on versus off. So it might depend on the kind of music you listen to, but for sure, if you listen to music and you crank up the bass, then you're gonna really like these, because these are already very bass forward. And all in all, I think that these are a solid option, and I really think that the functionality of them is really the big win. So definitely worth checking out. Now, we do need to talk about the price, but before we get to the price, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that button, easy enough. Go ahead and tap on that notification icon, the bell icon, and then give me a thumbs up if you found this of value. Really appreciate when you do that. Sweet. These, and I can fold them up so you can see how that works too. These are the PHIATON 900 Legacy Plus ANC headphones, and they are $249, currently discounted down to $199.99 at Amazon.com. I think these are definitely ones worth checking out, and depending on what kind of music you listen to, I think you're going to find the reproduction very, very appealing. That's all I got. Hope to catch you in my next video.